Hey everybody, good morning. We're taking a look at 2 Chronicles 23 today. We see that in the beginning, Athaliah is still reigning as queen or whatever she is, dictator, whatever she is calling herself. But we see that Joash, which is the young child who was spared, who was saved in the temple of God, he was saved. And now here we are a few years later, and the people, some of the people, they know that Joash is to be king, and so they go ahead and they look at it, and you look at Jehoiada. He goes ahead and he gets some captains of the guard and stuff like that, and he gets some priests, and he gets all these people together. He says, okay, it's time. It's time for us. It's time for our king. So he goes and he protects the king and he guards the king, and they crown him king. And that's in the first few chapters. They crown him king, and then you see as you go on down that Athaliah. She comes running out and says, hey, what are you doing? And they kill her. They take her outside. They kill her, and then they go down and they devote themselves. They consecrate themselves back to God. They devote themselves back to God and say, Lord, let us be your nation again. And take some things out of this, and the first thing I want to take out of this chapter is guarding yourself, is guarding your heart. You need to guard the things that are God's. You need to guard the things that are of God, things that are godly, that are in your life. You need to guard your heart, essentially. You need to guard your mind, your thoughts, and stuff like that, because your mind especially is always under attack, and for me, it's just using myself as an example. My wife is away, and she's been away for about 10 days or so, and she'll be away for another few months. And for me, I have to protect my heart, because my heart belongs to God, belongs to her. It's not my heart, it's theirs. And I need to protect that. And I need to watch. The enemy is slick and he's cunning, and what he does is I need to watch and be vigilant against the attacks of the enemy in that area, and so I need to guard my heart in that area. When I see something that isn't right, isn't for me, no, stay away. That's no. So we need to guard the things of God in our lives, and we see that in the first part of this chapter here. And take a look at verse 17. It says, "And all the people went to the temple of Baal and tore it down, broke in pieces the altars and images. They killed Matan, the priest of Baal." And as we are protecting the things of God in our lives, things that aren't of God, we need to tear them down. We need to tear them down. We need to break them in pieces, and we need to kill them, is what needs to be done. Their thoughts, whether it's thought processes, whether it's actions that we do, before they become actions, they become thoughts. We need to tear these things down in our minds. And the Bible tells us in Romans 12, first couple verses, that we need to renew our mind daily, and we do that by the reading of the Word. And I want to pick up, just speak here real quick in 2 Corinthians 10, speaking about spiritual war. At the end of verse 5, it says that we need to bring every thought into captivity to the obedience of Christ. Okay, why? Bring every thought, and as it just talked about, guarding your heart and stuff like that. Why? Just before that, it tells us, because it exalts itself against the knowledge of God. You see, we need to protect the things that are good, which are God, and we need to bring every thought captive back into that. We need to kill it. We need to break it in pieces. We need to destroy everything that is not of God. Why? Because it exalts itself against the knowledge of God. And if it's against the knowledge of God, it's against us. If it's against God, it's against us. Because the enemy wants to break that relationship apart between you and Christ. So if it's against God, it's against you. It's if he's coming up here, he's trying to be a wedge and drive you apart from Christ. And he does it in your heart. So you need to guard your heart and guard your mind. Things that are evil in your mind, you need to kill it right away. Stop it right away. You get yourself doing a second look, fellas, doing a second look at a woman that's not your wife, kill it right away. You need to do that stuff. Ladies, that gossip starts coming up, kill it. You need to kill it right away. You need to break it in pieces and bring that back into the subjection of Christ. So I love you all. I hope you have a super, super day. Ciao.